It's disgusting. Ugh, it's fucking disgusting.
Every time I would confront her on the usage, it would end up being a giant fight, and it broke my heart. And I probably didn't handle it well. I probably got very upset with her. And
There's no good way to handle that, Aaron. You know that. There's no good way to handle that.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. First of all, you stay away from anybody who do a compound media. That's a good way to handle it. If your wife's on drugs, doing a lot of cocaine, you go, hey, you know what? Maybe you should move out. Maybe you should move out. There's no good way to handle it. There's gotta be. I know Artie Lang wasn't handled properly. I used to watch that play out. I mean, like, I don't think this is being handled properly, but there's a good way to handle someone doing drugs. You make them, you send them to the airport at 1 a.m. See, let them deal with it.
And you know, this is what makes me sad too.
But Alex, if I could real quick, Alex, I mean, this was someone that
you guys who can't shut the fuck up doing a show. This is rich, as they say.
I wanted to be with forever.
I like April too.
And
he likes April. He wants to fuck her too. Primetime 99 AOC. He likes her too. Who don't like her? Sign me up. I want some of that.
Love her. She's a great girl. And
these fucking crocodile tears. Listen, I know a week ago I was friends with a guy, but come on, man. Stop it. Stop. The victory tour, whatever you want to call it. But the crying, that's too much.
To watch someone, I will say this. If you guys, don't be like me. If you see someone in your life and they're even thinking or talking to you about experimenting with drugs, don't let them step in. Do what you can, because
Chad, put it down. Put it down, Chad. Stop experimenting with drugs.
You just got to watch it change people, and it changed 2 or 3 people that I really liked and really cared about, and I couldn't save them, and I
couldn't save them. You were doing it too. You were making waffles. This is the world I'm in, man. Come on, man. Everyone's got to do better. These fucking losers are spectacular. It's spectacular. Listen, it is spectacular losing. To be fair, Aaron's numbers are up. That guy counting everybody's numbers, whatever, yesterday or Tuesday or whatever, his numbers are up. That's why I thought Melton stopped counting. He's like, call off the dogs. His numbers are up. So maybe Aaron's a fucking idiot genius. Maybe he's like, I'll get involved with the Ricottas. I'll get April hooked on drugs, and then I'll use that for content. I'll make a lot of moolah.
Stop them. And I've been talking about this a lot lately, and it's probably just getting to me.
It's getting to all of us. Shut the fuck up already. We've had it. Do Joe Rogan and be done with it.
A little too much, but I just go through times where I'm angry and I want all of them to pay for what they did.
Right.
And then there are times where I get like this, and I genuinely feel a kind of guilt for not doing more.
Well, it makes Aaron, wait, you're getting emotional. It makes me emotional too, because I remember.
It makes me emotional too. This guy. I don't know this guy. What's this guy's name? Primetime? I don't know him, but I like the cut of his jib. It makes me emotional too. Remember to say that if your girlfriend's crying or someone's crying, you're like, I'm getting emotional too. Look how non-emotional Primetime Stein is right there.
Remember the stream when April was so happy telling the story about how you proposed to her, how your daughter gave her the ring, and how your daughter proposed.
Don't bring that up. You're going to make him cry more. He learned that from watching Barbara Walters. Now that he's crying, get him to cry some more. Bring up some emotional thing about his children's.
Proposed to her is a very emotional thing. And I know that your kids loved April, and I know that you love April. Why did April?
Current tense, not past tense. So Primetime Stein still thinks Aaron and April love each other, and it's going to be a happy ending.
Change, in your opinion? Do you think Nick is a lot to blame? Because I think April is very funny. I think she's hip. You and I spoke privately. You said that she sometimes takes other people's mannerisms. She kind of did that with you too. She would be, she probably doesn't like to talk shit. Then you start talking shit. She starts talking shit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Same thing with me and Stuttering John. He used to watch me yelling and leaning in, and then he started doing it. So Stuttering John loved me.
She became a broadcaster from emulating you. How much is Nick to blame? Because I think April really is a good person. She seems like she has a good heart. And I know that your family loved her, and I know they had to be struggling with.
Not no more. No, his family didn't love her. They didn't even go to the wedding. Primetime Stein. Do your research.
This.
I've really piled on Nick. Some people would say maybe he deserves it. Maybe I've just been talking.
He does.
Maybe I've been talking too long about it. I don't know, but
we know. You've been talking a long time about it, almost nonstop. Does he even sleep? Or does he do European podcasts and Asian podcasts while we're sleeping?
I don't want to put this all on Nick and say that, he, I know people have used the word groomed before. I'm not going to use the word groomed.
I groomed Chad.
April's responsible for her own decisions. I think she did idolize Nick in a way. I think she was taken by the.
We all did. We all idolized the guy who claimed to be a lawyer, did a lot of drinking and drugs. We all idolized him.
Following, I think she was taken by the cars and the money and things like that. But ultimately,
cars and the money. His kids didn't even eat. The cars and the money. What money?
She made her own decisions, and I couldn't stop her from making those decisions. I couldn't stop anybody from making those decisions.
You can't stop somebody. Don't beat yourself up. You can't control the things you can't control. But would Nick?
Thank you. Write that down, everybody. You can't control the things you can't control. Thank you, Primetime Stein. It's like having him here for free.
He would buy all the drugs. You didn't have a drug dealer, right? I mean, this is all his dealers.
I never spent it. Yeah, I never spent it.
That's what I'm saying. I imagine April.
He's cheap. He never bought any drugs. That's why Nick Ricotta was like, well, you're not going to buy any drugs. Can I fuck your wife? And he's like, all right.
April didn't either. So April probably associated the high that she got with drugs from Nick because Nick was her dealer, right? I mean, whether he sold it to her or not, I'm just saying that was her connection to it. So when you start to use drugs, you know this, you've used a little bit, you become focused on the drugs instead of your personal life. That's why she wasn't like.
Or your children bathing or eating.
Mailing the guests their gift certificates, or I'm just saying, you could tell she disconnected from the show. So when did you notice the switch when April? Because the internet, I remember seeing the clips where the internet was calling April out. I didn't think it was that true. I don't believe anything. You know how we have logs that just make fun of everything we do. Half of it's BS. But I'm saying, when did April make the switch, and at what point did you start liking Kayla? Because do you think you liking Nick's wife pushed April?
She liked Kayla when he knew his wife was into the other dude. This reminds me of the first time I got drunk. I was in like 6th or 7th grade. We were staying at some guy's house. We had some Boone's Farm strawberry wines. Pretty fucking delicious. I'm drinking it. And I'm like, it's not even affecting me. Like, and then we're walking down the street or running or doing something. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm drunk. I was like 7th grade. I'm like, I'm drunk. So my girlfriend at the time, Liz, I don't know, dox her, Liz, that's her name. We were like sleeping in tents in my friend's backyard, I guess. So we were like in tents, but we're all drunk and we're like 12 years old, 13 years old. I know I was still in grade school. And then, so Liz Doc starts making out with one of my friends, Steven McNeilis or something. I think that was his name. Anyway, so I just grabbed some girl that I don't even like. I started making out with her to stick it to Liz. And that's all. That's what they're doing here. Nick Ricotta and April are hooking up, and Aaron's like, well, let me start making out with this lady. That's how it happens. So it wasn't like he fell for her. He was like, he just did it to stick it to her. Because what's he going to do? Watch his wife fuck a guy? So it's like, let me just grab. I was in 7th grade. I knew what the move was.
Pull away more.
I don't know what happened first. I don't know if Kayla and I started spending more time together because we were fighting with our spouses, or we were fighting with our spouses because we were spending more time together. I've gone back
chicken
and forth.
Or the egg? Chicken or the egg? Which came first? I don't even know what he said, but chicken or the egg? I didn't even mean to.
Things I've said both of those things. I'm not sure. Just the whole lifestyle, the whole time is a crazy whirlwind, and again, I can't recommend it for anybody. It scandalizes your marriage. It destroyed a good relationship, and maybe two good relationships. You know,
you're gonna get a third wife. I'm not kidding when I say that. Just realize that. Man up. It's gonna suck right now. You'll find another. I got chat rats. I'm saying you have an audience. You're gonna find some lady in Kunda High County that's gonna be
Flat Cat. Did Flat Cat move to Minnesota?
with you, Aaron.
I will say this,
You're a
Alex,
thin fella. You're okay looking guy. You know, you'll be okay.
He's no Alex Stein, but he's got to fix that head, shave it, or wear a hat.
Thank you, buddy. But I will say this. I'm kind of in that the phase of that Mitch Hedberg joke. I don't currently have a girlfriend. I just know a girl who would get really mad if she heard me say that.
Oh, already? You got to be kidding! Already? Okay.
When you live in Minnesota, you have to quote Mitch Hedberg exclusively. Minnesota, Mitch Hedberg was from Minnesota, and that's one of his bits. Mitch Hedberg used to literally, yeah, I mean, his bit was more like it was his real girlfriend. He had a real girlfriend. He was not necessarily faithful to her, and I think when he was on the road, I mean, he basically told me this. He said, Mitch Hedberg said to my face, he goes, "What's that? But you're always on my mind." That song. Maybe I didn't love you, but you're always on my mind. So when he's fucking some other girl, he told me that. He said that song always comes into his head when he's on the road. So when he's fucking some strange, he was thinking about the lady that he wasn't fucking. It was back wherever she was. But you got to quote Mitch Hedberg if you live in Minnesota. Anyway, so Steel Toe, I guess, has a lady. Good for him.